Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, Text 10. Akama,
Akama,
Sarvakama,
Sarvakama,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Yajeta Purusham Param,
Yajeta Purusham Param,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Akama sarvakamo va,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Mokshakama udaradhi,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Tivrena bhakti yogena,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Yajeta purusham param,
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Akama sarva kamo va,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Mokshakama udaradhi,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Tivrena bhakti yogena,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Yajeta purusham param,
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Mataji's.
Akama sarvakamo va,
Akama Sarvakamo Va,
Mokshakama udaradhi,
Mokshakama Udaradhi,
Tivrena bhakti yogena,
Tivrena Bhakti Yogena,
Yajita purusham param,
Yajeta Purusham Param.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Jaitrusha Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jai.
A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, is described in the Bhagavad Gita as Purushottama, or the Supreme Personality. It is He only who can award liberation to the impersonalist by absorbing such aspirants in the Brahmajyoti, the bodily rays of the Lord. The Brahmajyoti is not separate from the Lord, as the glowing sun ray is not independent of the sun disk. Therefore, one who desires to merge into the Supreme Impersonal Brahmajyoti must also worship the Lord by Bhakti Yoga, as recommended here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Bhakti Yoga is especially stressed here as the means of all perfection. In the previous chapters, it has been stated that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of both Karma Yoga and Jnana Yoga. And in the same way, in this chapter, it is emphatically declared that Bhakti Yoga is the ultimate goal of the different varieties of worship of the different demigods. Bhakti Yoga, thus being the supreme means of self-realization, is recommended here. Everyone must therefore seriously take up the methods of Bhakti Yoga, even though one aspires for material enjoyment or liberation from the material bondage. Akama is one who has no material desire, a living being naturally being the part and parcel of the Supreme Whole, Purusham Purnam, has his natural function to serve the Supreme Being, just as the parts and parcels of the body or the limbs of the body are naturally meant to serve the complete body. Desireless means, therefore, not to be inert like the stone, but to be conscious of one's actual position and thus desire satisfaction only from the Supreme Lord. Shubha Goswami has explained this desirelessness as Bhajaniya Parama Purusha Sukha Matra Swa Sukhatvam in his Sandarbha. This means that one should feel happy only by experiencing the happiness of the Supreme Lord. This intuition of the living being is sometimes manifested even during the conditioned stage of a living being in the material body. And such intuition is expressed in the manner of altruism, philanthropy, socialism, communism, etc., by the undeveloped minds of less intelligent persons. In the mundane field, such an outlook of doing good to others in the form of society, community, family, country, or humanity is a partial manifestation of the same original feeling in which a pure living entity feels happiness by the happiness of the Supreme Lord. Such superb feelings were exhibited by the damsels of Rajabhumi for the happiness of the Lord. The gopis loved the Lord without any return, and this is the perfect exhibition of a Kama spirit. Kama spirit, or the desire for one's satisfaction, is fully exhibited in the material world, whereas the spirit of akama is fully exhibited in the spiritual world. Thoughts of becoming one with the Lord or being merged in the Brahma Jyoti can also be exhibitions of kama spirit. If they are desires for one's satisfaction and to be free from the material miseries. A pure devotee does not want liberation so that he may be relieved from the miseries of life. Even without so-called liberation, a pure devotee is aspirant for the satisfaction of the Supreme Lord. Influenced by the Kama spirit, Arjuna declined to fight in the Kurukshetra battle because he wanted to save his relatives for his own satisfaction. But being a pure devotee, he agreed to fight on the instruction of the Lord because he came to his senses and realized that satisfaction of the Lord at the cost of his own satisfaction was his prime duty. Thus he became a Kama. That is the perfect stage for a living entity. Udaradhi means one who has broader outlook. People with desires for material enjoyment worship small demigods, and such intelligence is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita 7.20 as Hitagyana, the intelligence of one who has lost his senses. One cannot obtain any results from demigods without getting sanction from the Supreme Lord. Therefore, a person with a broader outlook can see that the ultimate authority of the law is the Lord, even for material benefits. Under the circumstances, one with a broader outlook, even with a desire for material enjoyment or for liberation, should take to the worship of the Lord directly. And everyone, whether in akama or sakama or mokshakama, should worship the Lord with great expedience. This implies that Bhakti Yoga may be perfectly administered without any mixtures of karma and jnana, as the unmixed sun ray is very forceful and is therefore called Tivra. Similarly, unmixed Bhakti Yoga of hearing, chanting, etc. may be performed by one and all, regardless of inner motive. I read the translation again, this was a longer purport. A person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Om Avyantimidandasya Anjana Shalakaya
Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Pranamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagapate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Vishaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatadishtarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajeshtanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachitapasana Vrishabhu Yogena Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Katha Prema Kumartho Maha Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamilam Tatradharaya Para. Hare Krishna. Thank you to all the wonderful Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis for coming for this Srimad Bhagavatam program in the morning. It's very inappropriate for me to be sitting here and speaking anything in front of all of you who are so worshipable. So first of all, I want to offer my deepest gratitude to the Vrindaban temple authorities and all the devotees who gave me a chance to render this service. And I also want to offer my gratitude and offer my respects to all the Prabhupada disciples present here or hearing online, who have built this wonderful community with their heart, with their blood, with their life and soul for the last many decades. They have been serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada for more time than I have actually lived in this world, in this body. So I'm nervous to speak anything, but at the same time, I feel like a child in the lap of the parents, or all my spiritual uncles, father, grandfather. So like a child feels very secure also in the company of spiritual authorities, fathers, uncles. That if a child makes any mistake, the uncles and spiritual fathers will correct and protect. So I offer my humble obeisance and to all the devotees, all Prabhupada disciples, and all these wonderful community members. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. This is the holy month of Kartik, the second day, and as His Grace Premananda Prabhu was speaking on the request of His Holiness Varsana Swami Maharaj about the importance of Kartik yesterday, we learned how to set the intent. We also learned about how to not just do it as a ritual, but also make it spiritual by having a proper intent. And we also discussed about some vidhis and nisheds, some do's and don'ts, which we can do. Anyone here coming like first time for this kind of class? Like first or first few times? Okay, welcome. Thank you. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, which is right here, which is 12 cantos, 18 volumes, and this particular verse is from the second canto, chapter 3, text number 10, where Srila Shubha Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj on the banks of the Ganges. And in the beginning of the chapter, we will see that Shubha Goswami is telling, okay, if someone wants a good wife, go here to this demigod. Someone wants wealth, go here to this demigod. This is a long verse. And finally, Shubha Goswami concludes with this very important verse. Akamaha, which we can get to the someone has a kama, that means kama means desires. When you put the word a, it becomes opposite. That means no desires or no material desires. Sarva kama, sarva means all. One has all the desires. Desire for getting good house, car, money, job, wife, children, anything. Sarva kama, any desire. Then desire moksha kama. So these three words, akama, sarva kama, all desires, moksha kama, desire for liberation, which the yogis, jnanis aspire. Somehow, hook or crook, get me out of here. Right? I am suffering here. I want to get out where this world is place of suffering and go to the Brahma Jyoti and just shanti, 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 peace. Right? So akama, sarva kama, moksha kama, udaradi, broad-minded. One who is broad-minded, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. What they should do, they should render Tivra Bhakti Yoga or devotional service. Not just any devotional service, but the word specifically here used is Tivra. What does Tivra mean? Anyone? Intense. Intense. For those who may have learned music, or Ayurveda, there are three things, like in Agni also, in the digestion of the fire of digestion, Manda, Madhya, and Tivra. In the music also, there is Manda Saptak, Madhya Saptak, and Tivra Saptak. Manda is low, Madhya is middle, and Tivra is high or intense, with intensity. And this verse which we are discussing is very, very important because Srila Prabhupada quoted this hundreds of times. What to say? In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Madhya Leela, at different sections, this verse as it is, word by word, comes 3 times. Because Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has quoted this verse 3 times in the Madhya Leela itself, which shows how important this verse is. So let's go word by word. Sarvakama. Let's talk about Sarvakama. Different people approach different, some approach demigods for different reasons. Namely, oh, give me wealth, give me health, give me this, give me, Jai Jagadish. One time, his Holiness Kishore, one Kishore Swami was sharing this, that during the exam time, they get letters. Swamiji, here is child exam are starting. Here is some donation attached. Basically, let my child get good grades, offering something to Krishna. Someone said, oh Krishna, I'm going for this business venture. If I get this deal, I will offer 50% to you. He was supposed to get $50,000 out of the deal, but somehow he got the deal, but the profit was $25,000. And then he said, Krishna, you are so intelligent, you took your share in advance. One person was very fed up with the family life and he somehow got a genie. And then he said, okay, 3 family members, husband, wife, and child. He said, okay, all of you can ask for one desire. Okay, husband said, I'm so tired of here. I want to go to the heaven and just relax and just enjoy there. Okay, Tathastu, Genie said, go to heaven. Wife said, Genie asked the wife, what do you want? Genie said, well, I want to be with my husband in the heaven. So, okay, somehow they reached there. And the husband was feeling that I got some relief, but here comes the wife. And then the child, what do you want? He said, I'm missing my parents, bring them back. So both of them were brought back. In short, we may ask for so many desires, but a child may not be a child, he may not be even so intelligent. to know what's best for us. Therefore, rather than approaching any other demigod, Indra, Chandra, Soma, Varuna, etc., here Shukadeva Goswami is saying, go to the Supreme, Purusham Param, go to the Supreme Lord, because He is our eternal best friend. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhara Pram. And Krishna has specially descended in this age as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to give us the topmost thing. Lutiya Khaya Bhandar Ujai. He has opened the doors of the flood, opened the flood of love of Godhead, so that the unintelligent people like myself, who don't know what's best for them, can render devotional service to Gaur Nitai, to Radha Krishna, to Radha Damodar, and get the topmost thing even unknowingly. Even if they approach for Krishna, give me this, give that, but Krishna says, this comes in the Madhya Leela, very, very sweet verses, right? Madhya Leela chapter 2 takes 37, 38 and 39. Here, the Lord says, Anya kami yadi kare Krishna bhajan. Anya kami yadi kare Krishna bhajan. If due to some desires, one renders devotional service to Krishna, na magite Krishna tare denes swacharan. Na magi, he's not asking, but Krishna, what will he give? Swacharan. He will give his lotus feet. Why? He's not asking for lotus feet of the Lord. Krishna says, Krishna kahe Ami bhaje mage vishaya sukha. He's worshipping me but asking for what? Vishaya sukha. Give me the pleasures of this world. Amrit chhadi visha magi ei bada murkha. Amrit, he's giving the nectar of what? Swacharana, Krishna's lotus feet. And he's asking for what? Visha, or poison, or sense gratification, material desires. Ei bada murkha is very, very less intelligent. As in the Bhagavad Gita, also Sri Prabhupada is quoting here, Alpavedasam, or Mayas testis hitagyana. Their knowledge has been stolen. They're asking for short-term things like husband, wife, car, job, this, that. Right? Very, very short-term things which will give only short-term momentary pleasure, and then they become a cause of suffering. But Krishna says, Ami Vigya, okay, he is Murkha, a bada Murkha, but I am intelligent. Mahaprabhu is saying, I am intelligent. Ami Vigya, a Murkha, he is less intelligent. Vishaya, Kene Diva, how can I give him Vishaya? If the small child says, hey dad, do you love me? Then give me a knife, sharp knife. Will the dad give him? Yes? No? No. The child is 5-year-old, he doesn't know what's this knife for. He will cut himself with that knife. He doesn't know how to appropriately use that knife. So Krishna is saying, Hey Murkha, Ami Vigya, Vishaya kaise, how can I give him? Swacharana Amrita Diya Vishaya Bulaya. I will give him my lotus feet and I will make him forget the Vishaya. And exactly we see this example in the story of Dhruva Maharaj, who was a 5-year-old boy. Everyone knows this story, maybe hundreds of times you may have heard. He was upset because of the stepmother mistreated her and spoke harsh words. And Dhruva Maharaj, Kshatriya blood was boiling, and he said, okay, I will get the kingdom greater than my great-grandfather, Brahma. And then he runs to his mother, his blood mother, Suniti, and she says, go to forest and worship Purusham Param, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajeta Purusham Param. Go render the devotional service to Supreme Lord. He will fulfill all the desires. And then Dhruva went to the search, and when the seeker is going, Krishna sees, and Krishna sent Narada Muni. Narada Muni was testing him and finally gave him the mantra. He chanted the mantra to worship the Supreme Lord with great intensity. Tivrena, not lukewarm, not madhya, not manda, not low, not mediocre. High, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. And as a result, the Lord Vishnu appeared. And then Krishna made him forget all the material desires. and gave him his lotus feet. Yet, Krishna gave him the kingdom too. He said, I was looking for broken pieces of glasses, you gave me the real Amrita. So, time is less and there's so much to discuss. But moving on, Sakama or Sarvakama here, lot of desires. Worship Krishna, Krishna will take it. Even if we have to ask something, although pure bhakti we all know is without motive, right? Anya vilashita shunyam. Right? Devotee is not asking. Mother Yashoda's pure love, she's not asking what Krishna can do for me. She's always thinking what I can do for Krishna. How can I give him my best? In all outside world, most people ask, hey God, what you have done for me? We should not ask what Krishna has done for us. He has done unlimited. We cannot count. We should not think, hey, what Prabhupada has done for us, or what the movement has done for us. Always thinking what I have done for Prabhupada, what I have done to spread the holy name, to spread the good name of Prabhupada, to share this with one and all. This is the movement of sharing. Especially in this Kartik month. Yes, we should render Tivra Bhakti, absolutely, because time flies very, very fast. How many of you feel, raise your hand, that this year flew very fast? Right? We all feel that. Whatever our ages are, 20, 30, 50, how many of you feel that last 10 years flew fast? Right? We all feel that, right? At every moment, this time will also fly very fast. But that time when we engage in Krishna's devotional service, that is like eternal. Ayur harati vaikomsa udyan astanchayan aso tasyartoshano niti uttama shloka vartaya. With every rising of the sun and every sunset, we are getting one step close to the body's death. But one who engages in the glories of the Supreme Lord, they are getting closer to the Supreme Lord. So, in material life, let's say we have to do a task. There are some variables there, right? The effort and the time, right? There are effort and the time, right? Everyone agrees? If we have to, let's say we have to drive, right, to Pittsburgh, it may take an hour, 1.5 hours, depends on some other factors. But if someone is driving with a bicycle, it may take more time. If someone is using a fast car, it will take less time. So the point is, time, how much time we have in this material body, is that something we can control? Certainly not. We cannot control how much time we have. We don't know how many days, years, decades we have. But what is in our hand is certainly the effort. And when the effort is intense, Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, then certainly we are assured that Krishna, I did my part. And that's what we see in the Damodar Leela also. In the 10th canto, it is said that Mother Yashoda, Swa Matu Swinna Gatrina, Mistras Kabaras Raja. Mother Yashoda was running. She was sweating. The flowers from her head were falling. Drishtva Parishramam Krishna Kripaya Sid Swabandhani. Seeing the hard work, seeing the effort, seeing the tivrata of Mother Yashoda, Krishna shows Mother Yashoda is so much sweating. She's really putting so much endeavor. Let me choose to be bound. That is what then in the spiritual life, it's not just the effort, not just the time, there's a third element, mercy. Right? In material world, mercy is like we pay the price, we get the product. Like we can't say, or like we go to a grocery store, we pay $10, we get the $10 product. There's no like mercy there. But in spiritual life, we cannot say, Krishna, I give $10 donation, give me the product of $10. Krishna sees them. Krishna will give mercy, we cannot get it, we can only receive. Drishtva parishramam Krishna kripayasit swabandhani. Krishna will choose to be bound by the love, by the intensity of our devotional service. As Srila Prabhupada says, the advancement in Krishna consciousness depends on the attitude of the follower. So, taking it to the step of sharing Krishna consciousness, because this is the movement of sharing. Yes, we should render intense devotional service, which all of you are doing so nicely. And for devotees, Kartik month, most devotees are anyways offering lamb to Krishna every day, or in the other months also. But this month especially is for sharing also. Yes, we should take it on ourselves also. Yes, all the do's and don'ts as Prabhu mentioned yesterday. But I'm sure that if we check our phone, all of us have at least 10, 20 contacts of people who may be open to this, Udaradi. And they may have no clue what is Kartik month. They may have no clue what is the glories of offering lamb. How many of you think that is fair? Right? That we all have 10, 20 contacts of people who have no clue about Kartik, who have no clue. Anyone feels? Right? We all have some contacts. So if we reach out, right? If we reach out, we'll certainly, because getting someone closer to the lotus feet of Lord, by any way, even if they have desire for something as we learned, that's fine. Even if they are praying, Krishna, give me nice health while offering. It's not the best, but the scriptures are so broad-minded. Udarati, Srila Vyasadeva, Srila Shubhadev Goswami, Srila Prabhupada, they're so broad-minded. They're not saying, like many other sections of communities outside, if you don't do this, then you're doomed to go to hell. Right? Many people say like, hey, my way or highway. But even we see in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 12, Krishna gives so many options. Okay, if you can't do this, if you can't absorb fully your mind, okay, render regulative principles of bhakti. If you can't do that, okay, engage your work in my service. Right? If not this, do this. If not this, do this. So broad mind. The path, the doors of ISKCON, the doors of Srila Prabhupada, the doors to access the mercy are available and open to one and all. Without any qualification or disqualification. Patra, apatra na dekhi, dekhi sthan sthan. Yaha dekhe, taha kare premadan. Mahaprabhu and his entourage, they did not see who is qualified. A patra, the right recipient. Who is a patra, wrong recipient. They did not distinguish. Whoever they saw, they gave the pure bhakti. Srila Prabhupada, when he came to the West, he did not see who is qualified, who is not qualified. Whomever he met. This is the broad-minded, udaradhi attitude of a devotee, of a pure soul. That they are looking for reasons to give Krishna. They are not looking for reasons to not give Krishna. To the extent Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, hey, don't share this with those who don't have faith or interested in this path. But Mahaprabhu, he, without distinction, patra na dekhi sthan sthan. Who is qualified, who is not qualified? Went to the bars, and Prabhupada, preaching in Bowery, in New York, in such a harsh weather for him. But without any restriction, without any reservations, opened the doors of flood of love of Godhead. And we're all trying to be a recipient. So, in the interest of time, I just want to wrap up. That one has no desire, or has all the desires of this world, you should not see, hey, this person is very materialistic, he is not fit to worship Krishna. Who are we? Krishna is happy to receive. Shukdev Goswami is saying, Mahaprabhu is saying, who are we to judge anyone? Every saint had a past, and every sinner has a future. Sri Valmiki Muni was a dacoit. We see so many examples in the Bhagavatam that people from rough backgrounds, they became the purest of the pure devotees. So, we must try to share Chanting begins at home. First take it, I'm speaking it for my own self. To render bhakti to the Lord, Purusham Param, with Tivra. Life is short. The more intensely we take this process, the better we have chances to receive the mercy. The better the Lord will see my child is really trying hard. Like Srila Prabhupada, the morning walk, as there were many ducks, I believe it was a Stowe Lake in California. Which duck you think will, when people were feeding breadcrumbs to them and ducks were quacking? This famous story that all of you may have already heard. And devotees were surprised with the question, like what kind of question? Which duck? And I was guessing maybe that one, maybe that one, maybe that one. No, look at that one. She's quacking the most. She's expressing her earnest desire. She's expressing her tivrata. She's expressing, I really want those crumbs. So when we also express our earnestness through chanting, through devotional service, through book distribution, through any service, the Prabhupada mentions, if one is attached to any form of bhakti, car protection, book distribution, prasadam distribution, deity worship, right? Playing musical instrument, we have the Holy Name Festival. This movement is so broad. There is room for everyone. Someone likes music, there is room. Someone likes cooking, there is room. Someone likes to clean, there is so much room. So much room that these doors are open for one and all. The famous story, Prabhupada was giving a class and one person came out of nowhere and put the toilet paper in the bathroom and Prabhupada accepted it. Right? There's room for everyone. So, let's, I'm just repeating for myself, let's take this process with not manda, not madhya, but tivra. And tivra doesn't mean that we give up, okay, I'll give up everything and go to Vrindaban. That's not we have to have a balance at the right, under the guidance of Guru, Sadhu and Shastra. But tivra is not just quantity, but it's also quality. All of you, some of you came from different parts of the US. It's a working day and you made time and effort to come here and took out quality time for recharging our spiritual lives. That shows the Tivrata. This new Vrindaban is not different from Vrindaban, and in this month residing in the Holy Dham is so powerful. That shows the intensity, the Tivrata. So when we render Tivrena Bhakti Yogena, Krishna will certainly be pleased and he will certainly render or offer mercy to us. And with that intensity, we also try to share. Because the real realization comes when we share this message. Just by reading books, which is very, very important. But when we go out to share outside the world, when those who are not aware of this process, those who are not aware of Kartik Man, Bhakti Yoga, Prabhupada, we will feel so much joy, the joy of sharing. And as you know, North America, the leadership team has an initiative which is going to be starting by 2035. The goal is to have 3% population favorable to the path of bhakti. Very broad way. They may not be chanting 16 rounds, it's okay. But even if someone is supporter, well-wisher, that these people are nice, they do good stuff. 3% is a big number. US population is about 350 million currently. And I'm not sure how many of those well-wishers currently are. Maybe 1 million, that's just a wild guess. But to get to 3%, I think it's very less than 1% also. But 3% is 10 million out of 350. And so we have work to do. In short, we have Srila Prabhupada disciples have given their life and soul to build this, to build the palace of gold. So now it's the turn for the next generation to take it with Tivrata, to do our best and share the best of our capacity. And we'll feel so much joy, so much happiness, right? The joy of preaching, the joy of sharing. And the joy comes like feeling Krishna. When we share the books, when we share prasad to the outside people, and we feel a great impact, how the Bhakti Yoga process is changing their lives for good. So, a person who has broader intelligence, whether he be full of all material desire, without any material desire, or desiring liberation, must by all means worship the Supreme Whole, the Personality of Godhead. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your time and attention. And thank you to all my seniors in every way. If I misspoke anything, please correct me if like a child or a child. And please, any comments, any questions, corrections, maybe we can discuss for a few minutes. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Shubha vilas Govinda. Thank you so much for your beautiful class. I have an appreciation of the question. I really appreciate the analogy you gave of the child wanting a sharp knife, and the father, So I feel like that really helps me, because sometimes I have desires for things. Krishna doesn't give it to me, so I can see it from a broader vision. Krishna sees that desire as a sharp knife. I'm not ready to use it, I'm mature enough. So I really appreciate that analogy. And my question is then, you talked about, towards the end of your class here, this last sentence in the purport where Srila Prabhupada says, like regardless of inner motive, last closing words of the purport. And sometimes there's a tendency, like, especially living in a community, where you have to have structure. You have to have authorities to keep the boat moving, to keep things rolling. And sometimes what happens is I find with my own mind, I become critical of an authority, thinking, well, he's just telling me what to do because he wants a position. Like I may criticize the authority because thinking that his motive is not pure. So I'm just wondering if you could maybe, shed some light on how to defeat that type of mentality of being, not just towards authority, but also just to people in general, how we criticize their motives, and therefore we lose faith. Like we'll have faith in Prabhupada because we're thinking his motive is pure. But if someone's in a position of authority and we start thinking, oh, the motive is not pure, we lose faith.
Thank you, Guruji, for your appreciation and your question. All glories to Prabhupada. So, that is true that if we see something and it doesn't make sense to us, we may be critical. And I was thinking of an example, like someone comes and tries to rush us into the altar and tries to grab maybe a silver glass, right? Yes, as authority, someone would be stopping him or her for good. And so for those who are in a position of, Prabhupada mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, text 15, very, very nice verse. This is the austerity of speech. One should, if one is not a guru, a parent, or an authority, one should not be like saying, okay, she's doing this wrong, he's doing this wrong, he's doing this wrong. If we are in those three positions, then yes, we must do something about it in the right manner, in the right way, with the right intention. Do I have the right intention for that person? That's the first question to ask. I want to help that person out of, maybe teach him the right manner, maybe teach him that this is not appropriate. Or maybe if someone else, maybe let's say if I see something, I'm not the right person to make a correction there, maybe, but I will tell to the authority who may be the right person that, Prabhu, I saw this,
if you feel it, that this is the right thing to do, you can take the necessary action. Because we may not have the full picture. I'm just speaking to my own self. We may not be the authority, but the authority has to take the right steps. Again, hate the sin, not the sinner. That person is not like the famous story, right? Which comes that someone came to steal Prabhupada's watch, right? There's so many examples in the Bhakti Thakur's life also. Someone did a mistake and then he went to the watch shop, but Bhakti Thakur said, okay, no more opening the mug, get him back, right? I want to see him. So we all make mistakes. I'm talking to myself. Some are more critical than the others, right? Some may be doing a smaller mistake, even unknowingly. Some may be doing a bigger mistake. Some may not have the right training, the right culture, the right context. So maybe in the right setting, we explain to them if they are open. If they are totally hell-bent upon their ways and they say, no, I have to do this, otherwise I'll create a chaos. But then in the right setting, therefore the Kshatriya administration is required to, as you said, they're an organization, to take the necessary steps for the greater good of the society. As even Chanakya Pandit says that for a family, one person, can be compromised. For a village, one family can be compromised, and for the nation, the village can be compromised. So that doesn't mean we hate that person, we just give him a chance. Okay, if you do this, you can't be here. Something, or if you do this, you can't get this service. I don't hate you as an individual, but that habit needs to be reformed. I'm not saying this because I'm better than you, I'm just saying this because I have this service, my dear Prabhu Mataji. So please excuse me for even speaking this, but I am doing this service because of my superiors, my authorities have shared, and hate the sin, not the sinner. Give them chance. This is some few thoughts, please correct, or so I'm very, unqualified to speak on your question actually.
I think you answered it very succinctly. I appreciate the different points, even some very practical points. You can go to another higher authority, maybe not necessarily going directly to that authority. And just to expand upon it, as you were speaking, I was also thinking that another way to address it is that I may be critical of the motive of, let's say, an authority, but then I should also be questioning my motive.
Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for sharing that comment. First, the right intent. And to have the right intent is, one of the senior Vaishnavas says that, do you have the right intent for that person? Or I want to correct him to prove I'm superior, or I'm better. Then, am I the right person? Because if the relationship is not good, the best of the words will not cause a good impact. Even if we have the right intent, but the relationship is already sour or not good. But, if I have a friend, even if I speak a little bit rough, he'll not take it back because we have that connection, we have that friendship. But if the relationship is bad, even the best words, he'll think, oh, something is wrong with me. It's like, why is he so sweet to me? Something is behind the scene. So, am I with the right intent? Am I the right person? Then, is it the right setting? Okay, let's say I have a friend here, but if I tell him in the open, okay, Prabhu, you must not do this. How dare you do this? Why were you late for the morning program? Why are you doing this? It's very inappropriate. Like speaking in front of 50 people. Is it the right circumstance? And then choosing the right words. The right words. Because everyone has something good, as Vishnu Maharaj says. So glorifying their good like a sandwich formula. Glorify their good genuinely from the heart. Prabhu, I really appreciate this service you do. And then sharing that feedback, or that if we have the right, if all three first check boxes valid, then we go to the fourth step in a private setting, and they're in a mood to hear, and then end up with a sweet glorification of their good. This is what I have learned from my superiors.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we will pause here since over time, and thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shubha ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam Katha ki jai.
Shubha vilas Govinda Prabhu ki jai.